Well, in response to local protests, La Crosse Mayor Tim Cabot says systemic racism needs to be addressed in all parts of our community. That includes supporting and growing local businesses and jobs, especially for people of color. Well, the number of minority-owned businesses is disproportionate to the population, according to the latest data from the Census Bureau.
While minorities make up roughly 10% of the city's population, they own about 4.6% of businesses. Reporter Mel Meyer investigates how leaders at a local and state level are considering how to eliminate barriers to business.
It started as a dream when she was just 14 years old, to one day own her own business. The opportunity presented itself plenty of times, just never the right time.
Didn't have enough money either.
While her dream had to wait, Kiki Banks went to work as an assistant manager at Sports Clips.
I always had people still coming and asking, oh, could you do braids in my hair? Could you do a sew-in? So I'll get off of work and have to still do hair.
It was way too much.
It was like, oh my goodness, I need to find some way that I can just put all of this in one.
Little by little, Kiki and her fiance saved up enough to start a business.
Everything we got in here, we did it one by one.
Roots Styles opened in January, making her the first person in the family to open a business. It's named after her grandma that always told her to stay in school and loved to do her grandchildren's hair.
Figured we spend less money, make some money, then spend it again.
She opened up the shop with no loans.
I try to stay away from that because I just finished paying my student loan.
She's far from alone. It's one of the barriers that people, especially minorities, might face when becoming an entrepreneur.
These startup businesses that you see that are often minority owned are either what's called unbanked or underbanked.
That's Missy Hughes, Secretary and Director of the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation.
If you don't have a line of credit, you can't buy inventory.
Where other business owners might go to a banker for a line of credit or a loan, others only have whatever's in their pocket.
Thinking about how do we help these businesses gain access to capital is really critical.
For Kiki, she wishes there was more funding available.
You wouldn't believe how many people it is like me that just would like to be on their own.
Especially to meet the needs of the area.
We need more shops like that up here to break out into culture, because that's what it is.
I think as the city continues to diversify, we want to make sure people are empowered to invest in the city.
La Crosse Planning Department Director Jason Gilman also serves as the secretary for the Human Rights Commission. He says the group hears about these issues and can talk with business owners about solutions.
If they aren't afforded a certain amount of financing, the city can come in with low-interest loans like we do for economic development and help fill that gap.
The city has also offered options like the Minority-Owned Business Assistance Grant to support small businesses and startups.
These are really important to the city's economy, and they'll be even more important in the future as the city's demographics continue to diversify.
Funding is only part of the issue. People have to know about it. Luckily for Kiki, she's found a good network. One thing that has definitely helped is being a member of Southside Moms United.
They've been very involved in a lot of the minority shops around here.
It's these kinds of connections that the WEDC is looking for. Right now, it works with partners like the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and Hmong Chamber of Commerce.
We have knowledge about the obstacles and the challenges, and so they can be really a great resource for minority-owned businesses.
They recently took this approach with its Ethnic Minority Emergency Grant Program. By working with other organizations, they will be able give out about 850 of these loans across the state.
I think we have work to do to continue to find these small businesses and reach out and talk to them and make sure they're aware of resources that are out there.
Some of the solutions may be difficult. The city is facing a steep budget shortfall, but regulatory changes like more mixed-use overlay zones and tax incremental finance districts could spur development. Essentially, ways to reduce the red tape for businesses and in the long haul, generate more money for the city.
That's an area that I think we're constantly looking at too, to make sure that the right type of capital is plugged into the right needs in the city.
It seems like Ruth Styles was the perfect fit on the corner of Jackson and 16. There are days where they're completely booked. Despite the pressure that Kiki feels of being the first person in her family to be an entrepreneur, it's been worth the risk.
You're gonna walk out looking like a new lady. I just love to see them happy and looking better and making people feel great.
The cost of doing business has paid off. For News 8 Now Investigates, in La Crosse, I'm Mel Meyer.
Now, the story is part of an ongoing News 8 Now Investigates series looking at racial justice and issues in our community. For more, just head to our website, news8000.com/News 8 Now Investigates.